Peace. So today we are talking about the placements and the positions and the planets in your birth chart that can give you indication to wealth, your purpose, and your career. And just looking at like your birth chart and looking at things that can give you a good indicator to where you may find success and to giving you guidance and the type of field that you may be interested in. Maybe you don't have such a clear focus on where exactly you want to pursue things. So we're just going to be talking about the placements and things that you can look at in your birth chart to give you some guidance and some assistance when you are looking at and referring to wealth and career and purpose. So the first planet that I want to talk about is your planet and placement, really, but the planet of Mars and however Mars is placed in your birth chart. So first off, the planet Mars has a lot to do with your drive, your action, your discipline, and your leadership, like how you go about things, how you go about attaining the things that you want, how you don't go about attaining things. So just like basically like your entire energy when it comes to attaining things and really like getting things that you want. Mars is a very dominant and masculine energy, like I want, I get type of thing going on. And I want to refer to Mars because Mars can give you a good indication into the type of leader that you will be. So if you are the type of leader that you will be, and Mars is important because it will give you indication as to how you will go about getting the things you want, your drive when it comes to really settling down and focusing in on the things that you want. And yeah, so when it comes to leadership, you can look to Mars, and when you're looking at your Mars placement, you want to look at the sign that your Mars is in, you want to look at the house that your Mars is in, and you want to look at the mode that your Mars is in. So the sign would be obviously, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Libra. The house, it can be in between the 1st, the 12th house, and the mode is going to be the mode of the sign. So it could be a cardinal sign that it's in, it could be a fixed sign, it could be a mutable sign that it's in. So looking at those three things is what you're really looking at when you're honing down on how it affects you. So when you're looking at Mars, it's like, what type of leader will you be? Like, how can you lead people? How can you lead yourself? Because when you're talking about leadership is more than someone that's leading a group of people. Leadership is leading yourself. At the end of the day, you have yourself. At the end of the day, you have to be able to sit down and do things and make the decisions for yourself, like do things for yourself. So Mars really talks about that. So if you're looking at, you also want to look at like aspects that you have to Mars. You may have certain aspects or other planets that are as having strong or weaker aspects to your Mars, which can also have influence. But Mars can tell you the type of leader you will be. For example, I will talk about Libra Mars for this example, and of course this is a general overview. However, looking at a traditional Mars and Libra, you're going to be looking at someone that is very focused on harmonious work, harmonious coming together in work and things like that, and harmonious action, like doing things that is where everything else aligns, not really forcing anything, going with like what fits, going with what feels good, going with what is comfortable in other fields opposed to what that one person just feels is comfortable. Also, I'm looking at someone that, if this is a leader that is looking at, that has to lead a large group of people, this is someone that may be very well. If you have a Mars in Libra, you may do very well with being able to bring two opposing sides together. And even if they don't have come to the same agreement, you may do well with getting those two sides or multiple sides to be able to come into harmony together and work together and move forward. And that might be somewhere you excel in. So this is useful in the sense, like if you looking at your placements, you excel in these things, or maybe you excel in certain things and you don't actually acknowledge it in yourself, you don't actually recognize it in yourself. But it's important to know where you are just naturally the one, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, And then looking at the mode, again, that could be either cardinal, fixed, or mutable, which can give you an indication as to the type of energy and the flow when you are going about things. So again, Mars is the first planet and placement because it talks about your action, it talks about your desires, your drive, your discipline, and the things that you go after. So looking at your Mars will tell you things when it comes to that. When another thing that you want to look at when you are looking at your birth chart and you are perhaps looking for indication as to where can you really feel fulfillment, where can you go and you know that it will always be supported, what can you do as far as purpose and career, or even creativity, I want to say even, or creativities that you know it will be abundantly supported. And with that, I want to talk about the South and the North Node. So the South and the North Node is where your soul has came from, what your soul has grasped onto, the lessons and the responsibilities that it has learned well, whereas the North Node will be what you came here to do, where you will find a lot of support and success and abundance when you take this certain path. So when you are looking at the North and the South nodes, know that they will always be in opposition signs and houses. So opposition signs, Aries and Libra are opposite signs. So if you have your North Node in Aries, then your South Node will be in Libra and vice versa. Taurus and Scorpio, Gemini and Sag, Cancer and Cap, continue. So they'll be in opposition signs and opposition houses, 1st and 7th house, 2nd and 8th, which is the houses that rule over the signs. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that later. But yeah, so for example, this can be helpful because when you're looking at your South Node, I'll talk about the South Node first. When you're talking about your South Node will tell you what you naturally you catch on to it. You get it. For me, my South Node is in the 6th house. I naturally know like what it takes to get things organized. Like I naturally know like the paperwork that needs to be done. I naturally know like, okay, this is a mess, you're jumbled, I can help you and I can get this all organized on a nice little, Microsoft Word sheet for you. You going through it. I know how to get it together, okay? So with that being, I have had a lot of experience in past lives. That's also what I want to say. Your South and your North Node refers to things that have been acquisited over past lives, over many different experiences. So in many other lives, I have had a lot of experience with, having to be the helper, or having to be the one that comes in and kind of settles things, organize things, get things done. Getting things settled out, like getting a routine set out, like structure, schedule, things like that. Whereas because it would be an opposition sign, you'll see that for me or with anyone else with this placement, they will have their North Node in the 12th house, meaning that in this lifetime they will find more success, and though it may be uncomfortable or scary, they will find and reap significant benefits in just going with the flow and just letting things be, and then not having to grasp on so strongly, not having to, I've very much been like, okay, like I'm doing this, like what is it gonna look like from beginning to middle to end? And it is a lot of experience in this lifetime of like, okay, you want to go to Europe, how about you not plan every single day from every single second and you just go? Like, how about you just try going? It's like that, you know what I'm saying? So when you are looking at your purpose and when you are looking at your career and you are looking at wealth, you want to look to your South Node to help you. Use your South Node to help you. Of course, your soul's purpose. I mean, this goes very deep. The North Node goes very deep because the North Node essentially is your soul's purpose. It's your soul's mission. When you came down here, it's like, okay, this is the node, this is the star. This is where you follow your North Node. So when you're looking again at purpose, wealth, career, you can look to your south node to help you. Like, how can you get your foot in? Like, what do I naturally excel at? What am I naturally good at? Like, what type of habits and behaviors and routines do I naturally know or naturally, just exhibit that can benefit me? And then you want to look to your north node to say, where can I jump in? Where can I dive in? Where can I do things that may scare me, but I know they will be successful and I know they'll be supported? When you start to follow your north node, when you start to live in your south node, in your north node, like, you will see a lot of things just happening very grandly, a lot of things happening very big, because this is your mission, it's your purpose, so of course it's going to be supported. I'm not saying that if you just choose, or you're living by your south node, you're going to be doomed. However, free will, you have a choice. However, there is significant abundance when you are following the energy and the work and the behaviors and the patterns of your north node and the energies in your north node. And again, your north node is going to be in a house and it's going to be in a sign, and you can look to your the house placement of your north node to really get specific for your own individual chart. I don't know exactly what the time span is, but a lot of people can be born under the same sign north node, which doesn't make it any less significant. However, if you want to get, of course, getting more specific into it, you need to look at the house placements, and that's for anything really when you're looking at your birth chart. So again, looking at your north node is going to tell you where you will grow and where you evolve. Okay, you follow your north node and you will grow and you will evolve, period. And again, it's in a sign and it's in a house, so focus on both of those. And it would definitely give you some some guidance. And and you'll notice that when you are in natural flow and when you allow your soul to be your compass and just allow yourself to really just follow yourself and to trust that your path is the path, like, you'll notice that your soul naturally does go to things that are more in alignment with your north node, which is different from your ascendant, though some people can have the same. The next planet or placement I want to talk about is your sun sign, which most people are most familiar with. Your sun sign is simply the sign that you were born under, your birth date. And looking at the sun is significant for a purpose and career, because it will tell you where your ego is fulfilled. And though we are, because I know who I'm talking to, though we are here, trying to live less by ego and more by our truth, don't mistake that with, the fact that your ego just, is just not gonna be there. It's about using your ego, not letting your ego use you. So looking to your sun sign can tell you, like, where are you genuinely and truly fulfilled? What fulfills you? What excites you? Think about the sun. The sun is bright. The sun is, it's always shining. It could be cloudy, but the sun is always shining. The sun is always there, okay? It's always, that could go back to the ego. It's always going to be there. Like, I don't know. Maybe it kind of, anyway, the sun is always there. So it's looking to your sun to tell you what fulfills me and what excites me. Your work, some people, it's nothing wrong with some people work with 9-to-5 type things. Some people work for themselves. Some people, whatever you do, I would want my work to be enjoyable. And again, given I know who I'm talking to, I know y'all want y'all work to be enjoyable too. So you're looking at your sun, and your sun's gonna tell you, oh, this type of stuff excites me. And again, when you're looking at this, we're looking at the sign, we're looking at the house, and we're looking at the mode. And then you want to get real deep into it, we're going to look at the other aspects. But I'm not talking about that today. I'm going to talk about that another day, though. And, okay, so, for example, we will use a Sagittarius sun in the 4th house. So let's say, for example, you are born under the sign of Sagittarius and your sun happens to fall under the 4th house. So you are naturally looking at someone that has a lot of excitement and fulfillment in obtaining knowledge, perhaps through the home, perhaps through family, perhaps through motherhood, perhaps through the feminine essence overall. Maybe this is someone that's very knowledgeable, aware, or hyper aware of the moon, the cycles of the moon, intuitive learning, intuitive knowledge, because Sagittarius is a sign that is obtaining knowledge. It's very explorative, it's very adventurous, it's the learner and the teacher, though we all are, of course, as an example. So this may be someone that will find huge fulfillment in being someone that can find work that just travels everywhere. Maybe they find a lot of purpose, okay? A lot of purpose in working in the home, a lot of purpose in working with women, a lot of purpose in working with higher knowledge, with working with masters and teachers and things like this, okay? Another example I'll use, say we're talking about someone who falls under the sign of Virgo, and their Virgo sun is in the 8th house, okay? So the 8th house ruling over, depth, sex, transformation, rebirth, things like that. And Virgo being this kind of helping energy, this it's nurturing, but not in a watery way. It's nurturing it's a caretaking type of energy going on with Virgo. This may be someone that finds a lot of purpose in helping others to transform. Maybe this is someone that does a lot of transformative work, a lot of healing work, okay? Someone that has like their sun in the 4th or 8th or 12th house, which are all houses that rule over the water signs. These are going to be people that will probably most likely find a lot of purpose in healing others, connecting to others, and specifically for the 8th house that I'm talking about, transforming others, guiding people in going through their rebirth, going through their changes. It's someone that could probably do a lot of energy work, okay? And this is helpful, again, looking at this house in the sun, because this gives you insight, like, okay, like, these are the things I enjoy, because maybe you enjoy them, and it's like, sometimes you just need to know, like, that you do, because maybe sometimes, like, you do it, but it's not, like, you don't really grasp it until you grasp it. So again, zoning in on back why I'm talking about this is important or helpful, because it can give you insight as to what excites you and what lights you up. Someone, again, that with that example, someone with a Virgo sun and that sits in the 8th house, they may be very excited to help people, like, die and be born again. Very excited to help people fulfill their depths in life. That could be actual depths, and that makes a lot of sense, because Virgo can be in Virgo energy. I will say Virgo energy can be very into like the paperwork of things, like getting things on paper, organization and structure. So this could be someone that gets excited literally with helping people with their physical financial debts, like things like this. And maybe that's where you find a lot of fulfillment, okay? So looking at your sun can definitely give you an indication as to the things that excite you and the things that light you up, okay? And the next thing I want to talk about is your 10th house. So the 10th house is the house that rules over your work, your legacy, your stability, and how you go out into the world, how you show up, especially in the work world, like how you express yourself through your work, how people communicate with you through your work. And if you're looking at your 10th house, you basically just want to look at the sign that house is in, and again, the aspects to it, like looking at the type of energy that's in this house, because this will give you an indicator as to, it's asleep, child, my foot is asleep. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Boy, no. So yeah, it's gonna give you an indication as to the type of energy that you put off when you are in the workspace, and just where you excel. This is how people are gonna see you in a workspace. Looking at this can be helpful because it can give you some indicator as to the type of energy that you put off when you're in the workspace, okay? Yes, and then the last two placements I want to refer to, I wanted to do these ones briefly. but mainly focus on these. Again, I want this to be a little quicker. Is your Venus placement and your Jupiter placement. Venus is wealth. Venus is luxury. Venus is desires and things that are attracted, okay? Things that are attracted to us and things that we are able to attract to us. You're looking at Mars, you're looking at like, ooh, I want that. I'm about to go get it right now. Like, I'm about to walk up to it and get it. Venus is like, I want that, but I'm gonna sit back and I'm going to let it come to me. Venus is a more seductive type of energy, a more it is feminine, while Mars is masculine. So while Mars can tell you like your drive towards things, Venus can tell you what you can naturally obtain to you, how you can naturally obtain money. You act out of your Venus, you dress like your Venus, you communicate like your Venus, and you will see like natural wealth, okay? This is like wealth. This is like a very feel good. It's where you'll find a lot of pleasure, okay? So this is where you can look to your sun for excitement and fulfillment. You're looking at your Venus can give you an insight as to where you will find pleasure in what you're doing and pleasure in, you know, what you are obtaining. Jupiter will expand everything, okay? Jupiter is an expansive sign. Wherever Jupiter is, there are grand things happening. Wherever Jupiter is, there is expansion, there is abundance, there is success, there is grace with you. Like, grace is with you. You can trust that wherever your Jupiter is, that has been expanded in your life. And usually you're looking at the house that Jupiter is in. Okay, so before, I also want to talk about very quickly some of like the placements that while that was an indicator as to how you can like find guidance with your with your birth chart. I also want to talk about certain placements, specific placements that may naturally now my foot's still asleep that may naturally bring in, or may naturally be able to bring in a lot of money for themselves. So when you're looking at the ascendant, where your ascendant is, someone with their ascendant in the second house, the house of finances and possessions, someone with their ascendant in, or with Venus on their ascendant, this is Taurus risings, Libra risings, and people with Jupiter on their ascendant, okay, they may have a lot of success, a lot of success with money, physical money, okay? So also someone who has their Jupiter in the second house, things like this. So again, that is my overview. I really hope that this is helpful for someone. Like, I really hope someone got something out of this video, and that you guys are able to move forward with a better grasp on yourself, a better awareness of yourself, and just some more guidance into where you can really find fulfillment, and guidance into where you can find excitement. Also, looking at your fifth house to what's just fun to you. Sometimes it's not about, work and career. Your fifth house can also tell you what is simply fun and you enjoy. It brings out childlike energy, things like that. So this was a quick overview. I definitely, I'm so glad I talked about this. This is a video I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Perfect timing as we are coming out of this Capricorn full moon. Willing that you guys are gaining the responsibilities that you want and need, and that you are calling in everything that you deserve and everything that is serving you best at this time, okay? We all serving, different paths, different purposes. You be born at the same time as someone, looking at birth charts, and you're still not the same. We all have our individual paths, and I am just grateful y'all here. And yeah, please let me know if you learned something. Please let me know if you learned something. If anything I said sat with you, you got something from this that you didn't know before you watched this. Yeah, send y'all love, because I'm sending y'all love. And yes, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night whenever you are seeing this. Peace and love and peace.